From Trump's presidency to Lady Gaga's Super Bowl performance,
I am officially running.
The show has proven itself as the crystal ball with which we can see into the future. Join us on this epic adventure as we take you through the top 10 scary Simpsons predictions for 2024. Number 10. Apple Vision Pro. The Simpsons is currently the longest-running animated show in the United States, with 760 episodes released over the course of 34 years. But that's not the only reason the show is famous. Throughout history, The Simpsons have established themselves as an accurate predictor of the future. Just in the early hours of 2024, The Simpsons recorded another win following the release of Apple's new groundbreaking product, the Apple Vision Pro 8. The company had been taunting this new product for quite a while, and finally on February 2nd, 2024, the Vision Pro was released to the public. It has since become the rave of the moment. This new virtual reality headset allows viewers to enjoy a range of hyper-realistic VR experiences, from an Alicia Keys concert to a rhino charging at them. But is this really the first time the world is being introduced to this product? Maybe not. You see, back in 2016, The Simpsons released an episode titled Friends and Family. In the prophetic scenes that unfolded, Mr. Burns hired Marge, Bart, Lisa, and Maggie to play his live-in virtual reality family as a trial run for a new headset that bears an uncanny resemblance to the Vision Pro. As soon as the product became available to the public, though, Springfield erupted in chaos. It didn't take long for everyone to get addicted to the new craze, and soon people were falling down manholes and walking into lampposts while distracted by these futuristic headsets. How could The Simpsons predict the invention of such a product 6 years before it was ever announced? Was it black magic or just a stroke of luck? As soon as news of the Vision Pro's release broke on the internet, one ex-user was quick to point out how The Simpsons had made the prediction a couple of years earlier. But when a show has been running for over 30 years, they're bound to get one of two predictions right along the line. So this may end up being a big fat coincidence. But even though it would make sense to dismiss the scenario as a mere coincidence, The Simpsons have done this so many times that it's quite hard to dispute them at this point. But The Simpsons' predictions aren't limited to tech gadgets and inventions. Sometimes they even make political prophecies. Number 9. Trump 2024. On November 8, 2022, former U.S. President Donald Trump revealed his intentions to run for the presidency one more time in 2024. It was a really anticipated announcement, which had been preceded by months of speculation. In order to make America great and glorious again, I am tonight announcing my candidacy for President of the United States. These were the words with which the billionaire businessman made his plans known to the world. And considering Trump's reputation as a controversial figure in American politics, the news instantly went viral. But while everyone focused on the pros and cons of a Trump presidency, the creators of The Simpsons were quick to point out that the show had predicted this move back in 2015. This is where everything gets interesting. In this particular episode titled Bart to the Future, we see Homer Simpson as he appears to fall from the sky. A campaign poster could be seen in the background with the words Trump 2024 etched on it.
So wispy. It's a gravity-defying comb-over. I can't believe that.
How did the writers and producers know that Trump would be running for president? Is this just another lucky coincidence? Or do the show creators experiment with dark magic to get a glimpse into the future? That remains to be seen. The craziest part of this whole story, though, is the fact that the episode was released before Trump was ever president. This adds another layer of mystery to the already confusing situation. But it still goes even deeper. This was not the first time The Simpsons would be making a prediction about the former president. In an even earlier episode from the year 2000, the show predicted that Donald Trump would one day find his way to the highest seat in the world's most powerful nation. It looked like an outlandish claim, but in January 2017, the controversial businessman was sworn in as the President of the United States. Coincidence? We'll leave that for you to decide. Number 8. World War III. As we explore the scariest Simpsons predictions for the year 2024, we travel back in time to November 1987 when the show was just in its second season. On November 22, 1987, The Simpsons released the 16th short of the series. It was titled World War III. Until today, it remains one of the most uncanny episodes ever released. According to Wikipedia, there are currently 5 major wars going on around the world, including the internal conflict in Myanmar, the Israeli-Palestine War, the Russia-Ukraine War, and the war in Sudan. There are also some minor conflicts in some parts of the world which are impossible to ignore. Number 7. Colonizing Mars. The Apple Vision Pro, Trump's presidential ambition, and World War III all seem like pretty fascinating predictions, but this next one knocks it right out of the park. On March 13, 2016, Episode 16 of The Simpsons' 27th season aired. It was titled The Marge-Ian Chronicles, and it featured one of the most interesting predictions ever made by the show. In this episode, Homer Simpson and his family are selected for a special program which will take them on a space flight to the planet Mars.
Ladies and gentlemen, mankind's first residents of Mars.
After surviving a stimulated habit for a week, all the males proved to be quite useless for the project.
And that's one thing they can never take away from us.
Lisa and Marge, on the other hand, proved to be highly skilled, and they made it through the final selection. Unfortunately, when it was time for liftoff, the engines failed to ignite, and it was later revealed that the project as a whole had been fake from the very beginning.
It's not a real rocket. It's the outside of a real rocket.
We did plan to build a real rocket.
The twist in the story was, however, that Marge and Lisa eventually made it to Mars, although it would eventually happen in 2051. So how does this relate to real life? It's where Elon Musk comes in. At this point, it isn't news that the SpaceX CEO is on a mission to colonize Mars and transform the inhabitable red planet into our second home. But what most people don't know is that in 2020, Musk revealed his plans to launch the first crewed mission to Mars. In a December interview with Matthias Döpfner, the CEO of Axel Springer SE, a German media company, Musk stated that he was highly confident that SpaceX would launch people toward the red planet in 2026. But if luck was in their side, it might even be as early as 2024. Sadly, SpaceX didn't really get that lucky. In 2023, Musk revealed that Mars enthusiasts may need to wait a bit longer to visit the red planet, as it might take another 3 to 4 years before the dream would become reality. Number 6. Virtual reality food. If you thought the prediction on the Vision Pro was crazy, you should see the latest tech gadget The Simpsons already predicted in the year 2000. To understand this one, we travel to episode 17 of season 11, which was accurately titled Virtual Reality Food. In this particular episode, Homer and Marge Simpson can be seen indulging in a VR dining experience, with their headsets on and a straw through which they receive a fudge that strangely tasted like anything they could imagine. It was like the perfect mix of technology and fantasy, but could it be a real thing?
This virtual fudge tastes like crap.
As the world becomes more and more digitally integrated, could we transform our meals into digital delicacies? Apparently, yes, we can. Meet Aerobanquet's RMX, a company that promises a culinary experience like you've never ever had. Imagine being transported to the digital cosmos, a place where the impossible does not exist. Imagine dining among the stars and enjoying a culinary experience in a world beyond the physical. Before we go on with the rest of the video, here's our subscribers' pick for today. As we unwrap the scariest Simpsons predictions made for 2024, our attention is drawn to the Israel-Palestine war and the strange predictions the Simpsons made about the war. Are we about to witness a shift in the political and military climate of the two nations? Or are things about to get even more dramatic? The outcome remains uncertain. But digging even deeper into the mysteries surrounding the Simpsons' predictions, we uncover theories from skeptics and non-believers who are not swayed by these prophecies. Even though some have come to pass over the years, many people believe that these were just lucky coincidences. If the Simpsons aren't really predicting the future, why do they get everything right over and over again? Share your thoughts with us in the comments sections and join the conversation. Now let's get back to the video. Number 3. AI Takeover. In a world where imagination often clashes with reality, the Simpsons seem to have discovered how to blur the lines. In episode 17 of the show's 23rd season, Simpson delivered yet another shocking prediction, which may likely become a reality in 2024. The episode follows the adventure of Homer and his boss, Mr. Byrne. After being advised by his lawyer that his human employees were costing him more money than necessary, Mr. Byrne fires all his employees and replaces them with robots. With everyone out of their jobs,
You fool, these are robots.
You will train them, and they will replace you.
The town experiences a 99% unemployment rate, except for Homer, who was retained to keep up with the robot maintenance.
Mr. Burns, before I leave, I got a few things to get off my chest.
The robots would eventually turn on the humans as they tried to murder both Homer and Burns, before they were eventually saved by the townspeople. For the people of Springfield, that was the end of the story. But those of us in the real world are left to grapple with the possibility of that becoming a reality.
Guys, thank you. The words Prime Directive get thrown around a lot these days.
This brings us to the question, will artificial intelligence ever take over the world? We've seen it play out in many science fiction movies, and of course the Simpsons have predicted it a couple of times. But is 2024 the year when AI turns on us humans? Believe it or not, that's actually quite possible, and here's one of the reasons why. A new study published in January 2024 revealed that certain AI programs are capable of resisting the sophisticated safety methods designed to keep them in check. This study was carried out by a team of scientists at the AI safety and research company Anthropic, and their findings are nothing short of terrifying. By programming several large language models to behave maliciously, this research company tries to prepare for the worst-case scenario and develop new techniques to bring an AI program back under control if it ever slips out. But as the researchers found out during their study, some of these large language models had learned how to ignore the training technique and maintain their rebellious ways. Number 2. Female presidency.
We got a chance to ask the vice president about their campaign strategy.
On January 20, 2021, Kamala Harris was sworn into power as the vice president of the United States. This is a day that would forever be etched in the nation's history, as she became the first woman and the first African American to attain the position. But what if we could kick that up a notch?
I think that the people of America want more.
What if America welcomed her first female president in the year 2024? Sounds like a dream, right? The producers of The Simpsons seem to think this was a plausible idea. Let us take you back to episode 17 of the show's 11th season titled Bart to the Future. In this episode, Lisa becomes the first female president of the U.S. after claiming the seat from former President Trump.
As you know, we've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump.
Maybe it's because it's election season in America, or maybe the scenes just seem destined for fulfillment. But many Americans are hopeful that the dream of a female presidency would become reality in this election year. If that happens, it could become one of the most monumental events in American history.